What's going on, YouTube? So, Regirock. For Gen 1 purposes, it's different. That base 200 defense means anything that will hit us with a physical attack isn't going to do much. And 100 in attack and special for Gen 1 purposes is nice. But 50 base speed, we're not going to be outspeeding anything. And the Sanqui gods have also blessed the rival with Squirtle. But we actually have a pretty nice starting moveset. Rock Slide, Stomp, Zap Cannon, Explosion too, which we're never going to use, but I mean, I like Zap Cannon. And Regirock can learn Thunderbolt, so that kinda helps us out. But no matter what our attacks are, it's not going to matter if we don't have enough HP to withstand at least one hit from them, and then possibly one-shot them. In the poll I ran in the community post, Regirock is the underwhelming underdog. And I can see why. It's a rock type, which generally those don't do well in solo runs. And the only rock type I've done on the channel was kind of a meme run, the Rhydon special moves only run from last summer. So let's see what a rock type in a serious run can do. So since we're in the slow level up group, of course I'm gonna fight every optional trainer I can in the beginning. And I'm only showing Rival 1A because I get hit with Sand Attack and manage to hit a Rock Slide and a YOLO Zap Cannon. Now it's time to head through Viridian Forest. Since we're a rock type, we can make quick work of all of the weak bugs, and any wild Metapod, Kakuna, or Pikachus we come across, we're going to knock out just because they provide more experience than the Caterpies and Weedles that we may come across. And just this early grind makes me think how rough an actual Rhydon run is going to be when I do it, because it doesn't start with any rock moves. Only Stomp and Fury Attack and something else, I think. By the time I face Brock, I'm level 8, and while I do get pretty lucky with some Stomp flinches against Geodude, I'm doing next to nothing in terms of damage. And Geodude, when it doesn't flinch or use Tackle, is boosting its defense with Defense Curl. It eventually maxes out its defense. And while I am able to get by the Geodude, and we do level up afterwards and learn Rock Throw at level 9, I just don't have enough HP for Onix. It goes for Rage right away, and thanks to its attack increasing every turn, it's going to start doing a little bit more and more damage until it knocks me out. I try again after battling the Junior Light Years trainer and a wild Metapod so that we can get to level 10. And our first Rock Slide crits, which helps out a lot. And Stomp is getting some early flinches, and we're able to get by Geodude pretty easily and have green health for Onix. And against Onix, it just goes for Rage right away, which, as you can see, even though Rage is building, it's only doing 1 damage, and it's doing 1 damage for a while before it starts to do 2. And because of this, and our base 200 defense, we're able to outlast and get by Brock. And the Brock split in total, only 20 minutes in game time, so not bad. Definitely not the worst Brock split in the world. As we make our way to Mount Moon, we're gonna make quick work of all these trainers. In Mount Moon, I'm gonna pick up the rare candy, the escape rope. I'm gonna be skipping Mega Punch this time. And I want to spotlight the super nerd guarding the fossils real quick because he actually beat me twice. The Grimer is no problem, it goes down in 2 hits pretty easy, but the real problem is the Voltorb. This thing knows Sonic Boom, and if it gets off 2 of them, just reset, but there was one battle where it got off 1 on me, and then Coughing poisoned me and would just hit me with Smokescreen, so the misses would just pile up, and I'd lost to poison damage. But you see, we get by in this battle, and we can go ahead and take the Superior Fossil and the Dome Fossil. We can go ahead, exit Mount Moon, and we can get our Mount Moon in-game timestamp of 32 minutes. And we normally ask Rival 2 or Misty. Well, this week, it's a no-brainer. We're going straight after Rival 2. And the battle starts in the worst way possible. Pidgeotto opens up with a Sand Attack, but luckily, we're able to get through. Rock Slide is going to one-shot it. Abra's next, it can't attack us, it's pretty much our punching bag. 2 stomps is enough to take it out. Rattata is next, and even though it gets off a small quick attack, Rock Slide hits again and one-shots. Squirtle's last, and I decide to try to get cute. I'm trying to get off another YOLO Zap Cannon, like in the first battle, but Squirtle stops playing around and knocks me out, so stupid reset on my part. I try again immediately, and we get better luck in this battle. Pidgeotto opens up with Whirlwind instead of Sand Attack, so our accuracy is in check as we knock it out. Abra, it's going to go down in one Rock Slide, and Rattata, just like before, outspeeds. It gets off a Bite this time, doing more damage, but Rock Slide one-shots it. Last is Squirtle. Rock Slide does half, it goes for Bite. Rock Slide misses as it hits me with another Bite, and our next Rock Slide knocks it out. And we can move forward to Nugget Bridge, where I do have some time loss. Some of the trainers with Nidorans have Double Kick in the Sanqui ROMs that can do big damage. The Mankey at the end with Karate Chop, which is a fighting move in this ROM, can do some damage. The Hikers with their Machops, I just have to constantly restore my HP and PP at the Pokemon Center, so it's those little things that add up. And I thought the last before Bill's house would give me some trouble, and I really didn't want to backtrack to the Pokemon Center to restore my PP or HP, but she went down pretty easy. We even got off another YOLO Zap Cannon against the Pidgey, so I guess we can just move on to Misty. But before we can take on Misty, we have to fight the trainer with the Goldeen before her. And there was a lot of questions on the last video regarding new moves and certain trainers' Pokemon having new moves. Well, this Goldeen is one of them. It knows Water Pulse, which it hits us with right away. Thankfully, Rock Slide does half, and its next move of choice is Horn Attack, so we can knock it out, we can go back and heal, and I guess I'll try our luck with Misty. And if you thought we were going to hit 2 YOLO Zap Cannons and easily win this one, well, you're horribly incorrect. Staryu manages to outspeed, and its Water Gun does over half. Zap Cannon does hit it, so I guess that's another YOLO Zap Cannon hit, but Starmie also outspeeds, and Hydro Pump is more than enough to knock me out. We're going to go ahead and pivot to the SSN. We can battle the one youngster in here to get Body Slam, and that's going to be a huge upgrade to our moveset. I'm also going to pick up the Gentleman Candy on my way out and battle some additional trainers because I feel like Regirock is really going to need it. We can go ahead and take on Rival 3, who's usually an easy battle. And this battle, like all the rival fights so far, starts in the worst possible way. I get hit by a Sand Attack, but thankfully I hit my next Rock Throw and knock it out. Raticate is next. Bite doesn't do too much. Rock Throw fails to knock it out. Another Bite hits, and Stomp finishes it. Kadabra fails to attack me by going for Teleport, and Stomp knocks it out. Last is Wartortle, and I miss my 1 PP of Rock Slide as Water Gun does big damage. I miss Stomp, and Bubble finishes me. So you know this is going to be a good run when you lose to Rival 3. I try again immediately and remember to teach Body Slam over Stomp. This time, we outspeed Pidgeotto, Rock Throw hits, one-shots it. Raticate is next, it goes for Bite, doesn't do too much. Body Slam can't knock it out and it goes for Bite again while we knock it out the next turn. Kadabra is next, it outspeeds, misses Kinesis, Body Slam one-shots it. Wartortle, I'm not going to try for a YOLO Zap Cannon, Rock Slide does over half, Water Gun does big damage to me, and Body Slam is enough to finish it off. So after defeating the rival, I pick up the Gentleman Candy and battle some of the additional trainers on the SSN, since once you leave, they disappear forever, and since we're in the slow level up group, along with being a slow rock type that still has to battle Misty, with Erica still to come, I figured why not try to level up some. One thing I didn't do while on the SSN was pick up Rest. It probably would have came in handy at some point, but maybe that's something to test out with Regice and Registeel. But after gaining some levels, we can backtrack to Cerulean and take on Misty. We're level 26 now. We outspeed Staryu and one-shot it with Rock Slide. I test my luck with Starmie, it hits me with Water Gun, and I manage to hit a YOLO Zap Cannon for the win. And now we can make our way towards Rock Tunnel. I thought the Rapping Lass would give us some problems, but all of her Pokemon just end up going down to one Rock Slide, which is nice. But in Rock Tunnel, believe it or not, Regirock is going to have some problems. Skipping Surge for now saves a lot of time since you don't have to backtrack, but we're missing out on something that would have come in handy for the Slowpokes, and that is TM24 Thunderbolt. While Thunderbolt is weaker, it is a lot more accurate, which I like a lot more over Zap Cannon, and it's 50% accuracy. But let's talk about this first Super Nerd in Rock Tunnel, and really it kind of talks about the other Super Nerd later on. See, Cubone in the Sanqui ROMs has Bonemerang, and it actually beat me where I couldn't get past it because it would crit twice, and I would just miss and have the worst luck possible. Now, the following Slowpoke normally only has Confusion, Disable, and Headbutt, but in the Sanqui ROM, it also has Water Gun as you see here. So if Cubone does big damage to you, it can easily clean you up. The self-destructing hiker wasn't a problem this week, so we will pick it up at our Rock Tunnel timestamp of 1 hour and 19 minutes. We're going to head to Celadon right away. One thing I usually don't show is the vitamin buying, and we're going to need plenty of Carbos to try and outspeed what's to come. But we're not going to buy them just yet. We could take on Erica, but she'll probably annihilate us. We could also go through Saffron and backtrack to Vermilion to face Surge. But the best place to go through in my opinion first is the game corner, because there's some high money items and other things that we can pick up and sell, and also we can get Giovanni out of the way. And his first 2 Pokemon are no problems. We have Dig for the Onix, which one-shots it. We have Dig for Rhyhorn, which also one-shots it. Kangaskhan is a problem. I go for Zap Cannon and miss. Just wanted to see if I could hit another one. And Kangaskhan is getting some great luck. Rock Slide looks like it's a 3-hit KO. We need to just hit one more. And Bite just keeps flinching. And flinching. And flinching me. It gets me down to 3 HP before I'm finally able to get a turn and knock it out. I almost lost to Game Corner Giovanni. This run is going to be a great one. I wrap up errands by selling off TMs and items I no longer need and pick up 3 Carbos. I get the fresh water from the top floor, I get Fly, and now we can backtrack to Lieutenant Surge. And we have Dig on our moveset, so it's a one-shot sweep. But the true prize is TM24 Thunderbolt, which we can say goodbye to Zap Cannon, and it's 50% accuracy. But the 120 base power will be missed, kind of. Which, by the way, I went on Bulbapedia to confirm the power of Zap Cannon because I wasn't sure. And did you know there was an event Squirtle with Zap Cannon? I never did. That's kinda cool. Before we take on Rival 4, I'm also gonna mention that I forgot to pick up the bike voucher the first time in Vermilion, so I did that. This run's going great. But to the rival battle. Pidgeotto's the lead, we outspeed it, Rock Slide one-shots it. Growlithe is next, we miss, but it just goes for Roar, we can take it down the next turn. Sanqui Execute is very annoying. I go for Rock Slide, it doesn't one-shot it, it hits me with Stun Spore, and then gets off Bullet Seed, which hits 4 times, bringing me down to 30 HP. Thankfully we hit next turn and take it out. Kadabra just goes for Teleport twice, so our second Body Slam hits, and thankfully Wartortle goes for Withdraw, so Thunderbolt can one-shot it. We almost lost to Rival 4. I don't know if I've ever lost to Rival 4. Anyway, there really isn't anything interesting that happens in Pokemon Tower, so we can go ahead and fast forward to Cycling Road, heading to Fuchsia City where we can go to the Safari Zone to pick up the remaining HMs of the run, and then battle Koga. And even if I didn't have a move like Dig on my moveset, I don't think I would be worried in this one. Coughing number 1 is the lead. I go for Dig. We don't one-shot it, but it just goes for Haze. Thunderbolt finishes it. Against Muck, I go for Dig. It'll probably withstand it, but we crit and one-shot it. Out comes Coughing number 2. We're not going to one-shot it since we didn't one-shot Coughing number 1, but Koga uses an X attack and Thunderbolt finishes it. Wheezing is last, it hits me with Toxic as I go for Dig, we come up, hit it, do about half, and then it goes for Explosion, which we tank. So Koga, out of the way. Now it's time for Silphco, and I'm going to make a pit stop to the 10th floor, where we can battle this one rocket here, and then we can get the Carbos, the rare candy, but most importantly, TM26 Earthquake. I head to battle Rival 5, and if Rival 4 gave me problems, then this one's probably going to be brutal. Pidgeot is the lead, it opens with Whirlwind, we hit Rock Slide, we take it out. Next is Growlithe, we outspeed, Rock Slide, and it one-shots it. Sanqui Execute, who is a pain. Rock Slide does about half, it hits Sleep Powder, then hits me with 1 Confusion, 2 Confusion, 3 Confusion, 4 Confusion, and 5 total Confusions before I wake up. Rock Slide can't KO it, and it hits me with Stun Spore and hits me with another Confusion. We knock it out, but I have 21 HP for Alakazam, who easily takes me out with Psybeam. I decide since we level up after Execute, and I have the rare candy in my bag, let's just battle some of the rockets in Sylph and pop the rare candy and see how we do at level 39. Well, the first two Pokemon go the exact same, except Pidgeot actually attacks us this time. Execute, Rock Slide does over half and it hits me with Stun Spore. It then hits me with 3 Confusions before I'm able to knock it out thanks to Paralysis. Alakazam comes out, hits me with Kinesis. I switch to Body Slam hoping for Paralysis, don't get it, but it goes for Reflect. We take it out. Blastoise hits me with Bubble, and I'm fully paralyzed. So we at least made it to Blastoise. I decide to try one more time since we made some progress in the last battle. We know how the first 2 Pokemon go, so I'll just speed them up here. Can we get luck against Execute? We do. I get a critical hit with Rock Slide to one-shot it. Alakazam goes for Reflect, so Rock Slide only does half, but it goes for Reflect again, and we take it out. Last is Blastoise. We outspeed. Thunderbolt hits, almost takes it out. Bubble does big damage, but thankfully we hit next turn and get the win. That rival battle was one of the more difficult ones in recent memory, and I can only imagine when I do a Pokemon like Golem, Onix, or Sandslash how they will fare. And a trainer that Pokemon normally fare well against is this Grunt before Giovanni. Although Body Slam doesn't one-shot Cubone, it goes for Thrash. I guess it knows it in the Sanqui. We take it out the next turn. Drowsy, we're going to go for Rock Slide. It's a one-shot, but Marowak, this thing decides it's going to tank Body Slam and take me out with Bone Meringue. I think last time I lost to this trainer was the Magneton run. Anyway, let's try again, fully healed up. This time I go for Dig, does about half. It then goes for Rage, Body Slam can take it out. Out comes the Drowsy. We're gonna go for Rock Slide, it's a one-shot. And against Marowak, I'm gonna go for Dig, it misses Bone Meringue. We do less than half, but it goes for Rage. And we can take it out with 2 Body Slams from there. And with this rocket out of the way, we can go ahead, we can move on to Giovanni, hurry up and get Silphco wrapped up, and take on Sabrina. He leads with Nidorino. I use Dig, it misses Double Kick, which could have did big damage maybe, we knock it out. Kangaskhan is next, Rock Slide misses, he goes for Guard Spec, I hit and do about half. Bite doesn't do much, Rock Slide fails to knock it out, and another Bite doesn't do much again. We knock it out with Body Slam. I go for Dig on Rhyhorn. It hits, doesn't knock it out, and it goes for Bulldoze. Super effective and lowers my speed, but we knock it out. Nidoqueen is last. It outspeeds me and hits me with Double Kick. We dig underground, and we fail to knock it out, and even without the crit, I think Double Kick would have knocked me out anyway. Alright, pretty sure last time I lost to Sylph Giovanni was the Magneton run, but let's try again. We go for Dig, it misses Double Kick, we hit, we knock it out. Alright, Kangaskhan, we're gonna go for Thunderbolt. It does maybe a third. Rock Slide, doesn't KO it. Bite doesn't do much, and we take it out with Thunderbolt. Not sure why I went for Thunderbolt. Rhyhorn, we go for Dig, it misses Bulldoze, we hit Dig, we get a crit and one-shot it, okay. Nidoqueen's last, we outspeed without the speed drop. Dig does almost all its health, and Giovanni goes for a Guard Spec, and we knock it out with Body Slam. Alright, I'll take that. And now we can head to Sabrina's gym. All her Pokemon are fast, special attackers with frail defense. I'd say with 100 base attack and 100 base special, those are both good enough to win this battle, at least I hope. She leads with Kadabra, who outspeeds and hits us with Psybeam. Earthquake one-shots it, don't think the crit mattered. Mr. Mime is next. Earthquake fails to one-shot it, which is a surprise. It hits me with Psybeam, we knock it out the next turn. Venomoth outspeeds and hits Sleep Powder. It then hits me with Signal Beam, a critical hit Psybeam, and another Psybeam to finish me off. And the next attempt you're about to see is my third. I'm just going to spare the second attempt because it went worse than the first. Once again, Kadabra outspeeds, Psybeam doesn't do much, Earthquake one-shots it, crit doesn't matter. Mr. Mime, we use Earthquake, we one-shot it thanks to a crit. Venomoth is next. We outspeed, so speed tie? Rock Slide one-shots it, Alakazam outspeeds us but just uses Psy-Wave, and Earthquake one-shots it. Don't think the crit mattered. Now it's time to head south of Pallet Town towards Cinnabar Island. In the Pokemon Mansion, there's going to be a few vitamins we can pick up that can help out Regirock. But also, Blaine's gym provides an excellent training spot since we have both Rock Slide and Earthquake on our moveset, and I feel like we're going to need the extra levels. But it's Blaine time, and even after battling every trainer in his gym, we're only level 43. Thankfully, Growlithe is still a one-shot with Earthquake, it's pretty frail. Ponyta is also a one-shot with Earthquake. We level up going into Rapidash. It outspeeds and goes for Agility. Earthquake one-shots it. Last is Arcanine, who also outspeeds, goes for Bite, and Earthquake is a one-shot. There still is one gym leader we have to face before Giovanni. It's Erica. I put her off as the 7th gym leader. I just didn't think Regirock would be able to get by both Victreebel and Vileplume. Well, since we're 15 levels higher, Rock Slide one-shots Victreebel. Tangela is her bulkiest Pokemon. Rock Slide also one-shots it, and Vileplume is last. Rock Slide doesn't one-shot it, Mega Drain doesn't do a lot, and Body Slam finishes it. Now we can head to Giovanni's gym. But before we talk about Giovanni, I'm gonna spotlight the black belt before him. See, these Machokes actually beat me once. We get an X attack here, and 2 Earthquakes finish it. And against the Machop, I actually get lucky with a critical hit Earthquake. It's able to use Karate Chop and Submission as well, and the Machoke here survives an Earthquake but misses Submission, and we take it down without losing a single point of HP. And our pre-Giovanni battle timestamp of 2 hours 41 minutes is pretty good. But now let's get into the battle. We outspeed Rhyhorn, Earthquake one-shots it. That's good. Dugtrio is next. I go for Body Slam. It doesn't one-shot it, but we do paralyze it so we can outspeed and take it out the next turn. Nidoqueen, we go for Earthquake. It's a one-shot. So we level up here, and Nidoking should also be a one-shot. And it is. Rhydon is last. I don't think Earthquake will one-shot it. It doesn't. It goes for Fissure, which we're faster so it can't hit us. And that's 8 badges down. We have the pre-league rival battle next. Rival 4 was a close one. Rival 5 will beat me a few times. We have Execute, never thought I'd say that, Alakazam, and Blastoise to deal with. We're kind of under-leveled. We're only level 46. I don't know how this one's gonna go. Well, Rival 6 leads with Pidgeot. It goes for Roost, new move it has in this ROM. Thunderbolt one-shots it. Rhyhorn is next. We outspeed. We go for Earthquake. It's a one-shot. Crit might have mattered, but probably not. Out comes Growlithe. Earthquake. It's going to one-shot it. Now Execute. After we level is a problem. I go for Rock Slide. It does half. It takes in Sunlight for Solar Beam. Our next Rock Slide knocks it out, so that's good. Out comes Alakazam. It outspeeds, hits me with Psychic, gets a special drop. Earthquake can't one-shot it, and its next Psychic is enough to finish me. I tried 2 more times, but failed to make it by Execute on one of them, who just put me to sleep with Sleep Powder and then Solar Beam me to death, and Alakazam in the next one. I decided to use the 3 rare candies in my bag before trying again. And we can move past the first 3 Pokemon. We know that all 3 of them are one-shots. Let's just go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes. Execute. Rock Slide does more than half. It takes in Sunlight for Solar Beam. We knock it out the next turn. Alakazam comes out. It still outspeeds. Psybeam hits and gets a massive critical hit. Rock Slide fails to one-shot it. It goes for Reflect, thankfully, otherwise we would have lost. But we're probably going to lose here. Thunderbolt can't one-shot Blastoise, and Bubble takes me out. And after a few more losses, I got an idea. I rode the high of getting to Blastoise for far too long. I'm gonna get Mimic. I can Mimic Agility from Pidgeot to guarantee I outspeed and for badge boost purposes. And while I'm at the mart, I have enough money for vitamins. I might as well get 4 proteins and 2 calciums. Might as well boost my attack and special as much as I can. And it only took a few minutes in-game time to get all that, so we're still in good position. Pidgeot's the lead, it goes for Agility. I'm going to Mimic Agility, and then I proceed to set up 3 Agilities as it goes for Agility, Roost, and a weak Wing attack before we finally knock it out with Thunderbolt. Rhyhorn is next, and like before, it keeps going down to 1 Earthquake. Nothing changes there. That's 2 down. Growlithe is next, and just like Rhyhorn, it goes down in 1 Earthquake. Now, the true test. Here comes Execute with Badge Boost. Rock Slide doesn't knock it out, but Retroactive Potion, that's good. We can knock it out the next turn. Alright, Alakazam's next. We outspeed. Earthquake does one-shot. Alright. Last is Blastoise. We're going to outspeed it, but Thunderbolt gets a critical hit, so the Badge Boost didn't even matter. And that's Rival 6. But now we have the League, and I can see the League being a huge problem. Lorelei. Slowbro has Water Pulse now as opposed to Water Gun in the Sanqui ROMs. She can be a problem. Bruno. Remember, the Hitmon special in these ROMs got a buff due to the settings I use. If you watch the unlisted video that I put in the pinned comment on the slacking video, I'll probably put that same pinned comment on this one. But Bruno could be a problem of all people. Agatha won't be a problem. It's always great to say that. Lance can be a problem. If we miss Rock Slide, Gyarados' Hydro Pump could potentially one-shot us. Sanqui Aerodactyl, it knows Iron Head. And the champion, Alakazam, can be a problem. Rhydon, possibly, if we can't one-shot it. Bulldoze is super effective and can lower our speed. Exeggutor knows Seed Bomb and has a high special stat and high defense. And last but not least, Blastoise. And we're underleveled and are a slow rock Pokemon. This is gonna be fun. I did some training in Victory Road against trainers. 3 hours 8 minutes before Lorelei, we picked up the rare candy in Victory Road. Only thing left to do is give it our best shot. Lorelei is first, and she leads with Dugong. Thunderbolt or Rock Slide, I pick Rock Slide. It one-shots, so that's a good start. Cloyster, I accidentally click Rock Slide, but we don't knock it out. It does a lot of damage. Retroactive Super Potion, we can finish it the next turn. Against Slowbro, I go for Thunderbolt. Doesn't KO it. It hits Water Pulse, doing over 100 HP. Our next Thunderbolt knocks it out. We level up going into Jinx, who outspeeds us and hits us with Ice Punch, bringing us to 10 HP. Rock Slide does one-shot it, but we're not going to get by Lapras, right? Rock Slide almost KOs it, and Retroactive Super Potion. We win. We probably should have not won that battle. We just had just enough luck. But I'm going to take it. But luck's probably going to run out against Bruno, right? Let's see. Bruno, of course, leads with his first Onix. I'm going to go for Earthquake. Will it one-shot? Yes, it will. 1 down. Hitmonchan comes out. They have boosted special in this. Earthquake does about half. Fire Punch does next to nothing. A second Earthquake can't knock it out, but he just goes for an X defense, so Thunderbolt takes it out. Hitmonlee goes for Focus Energy and hangs on from Earthquake and retaliates with a massive jump kick before going down to a second Earthquake. Onix number 2, Earthquake, it hangs on and Bruno uses an X defend. We take it out, but surely leveling up into Machamp, we're going to go down. Earthquake does a third, it misses submission, Earthquake crits, and X defend. So we win again. What is with this AI and using items? Anyway, we've got Agatha next. You'll see I heal before the battle, but forget to restore my PP. Surely that won't be a problem. So once the battle starts, I notice that I don't have the PP. I switch to Rock Slide. She switches to Golbat, which works out, it one-shots it. Gengar comes back out. Shadow Punch doesn't do much, although the second crits. It's just 2 Rock Slides to take it out. Next is Haunter. It outspeeds. Uses Shadow Ball, doesn't do much. Rock Slide knocks it out. Arbok is next. I decide to use my 1 PP of Earthquake on it. We take it out. Last is Gengar number 2. It hits Dark Pulse. I flinch. It hits Dark Pulse again. Rock Slide. Surely we're going to lose. And it goes for Shadow Ball. We survive with 13 HP and knock it out. These AI move choices. And Regirock looking like a Cinderella story so far. Just 2 trainers left. But the next one is Lance, who I thought could be a problem. And at least I remember to restore my PP before this battle. He leads with Gyarados. Thunderbolt one-shots it, so 1 down. Dragonair number 1, I go for Earthquake, it tanks it, it hits me with Dragon Rage, and a second Earthquake knocks it out. Dragonair number 2 comes out, and it's the same as number 1. Earthquake, it tanks it, Dragon Rage, a second Earthquake, we knock it out. Sanqui Aerodactyl, outspeeds, hits me with Iron Head, brings me to 35 HP, but we knock it out with Thunderbolt, and Dragonite outspeeds and goes for Dragon Rage. Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned that before. I think I brought it up in the Meganium video. Lance's Dragonite has Wing Attack, Dragon Rage, and I want to say Agility and Hyper Beam or Barrier and Hyper Beam are its other moves. So I did something I don't normally do. After I lost to the league, I saved and kept all the levels I gained throughout it. All the extra levels made those close battles with Lorelei, Bruno, and Agatha not so close battles. Well, it's rematch with Lance time. Gyarados is the lead again. Thunderbolt takes it out in one shot. Next up is Dragonair number 1 as we level up. Earthquake can't one-shot it. It goes for Agility. It then hits me with Dragon Rage, and we knock it out. I'm going to try mimicking Agility from the second Dragonair, which I do here, and it paralyzes me with Thunder Wave and hits me with Dragon Rage. I'm fully paralyzed, and we both start setting up Agility before it goes for Dragon Rage, and I hit an Earthquake. We don't knock it out, uses Agility again, and then a Hyper Potion as I'm fully paralyzed. Earthquake can't knock it out, but a second one does. Sanqui Aerodactyl outspeeds, Iron Head doesn't knock me out, Thunderbolt does knock it out, and Dragonite goes for Barrier, we're fully paralyzed, and we get knocked out to Dragon Rage again. And just like before, I want to keep the experience, so I save the game, even at the cost of PP restoring items. The good news is that we make it back to Lance on our very next attempt. Gyarados is the lead, we know it's going to go down in one Thunderbolt, we're really worried about the two Dragonairs. Dragonair number 1, I go for Earthquake, it doesn't knock it out, it just goes for Dragon Rage. Best case scenario, I guess, Rock Slide knocks it out. We level up going into Dragonair number 2 and can learn Zap Cannon, it's not making a comeback, we're keeping Thunderbolt. Earthquake brings Dragonair number 2 into Hyper Potion range, I go for Earthquake again. It brings it into yellow, it goes for Agility, and then Dragon Rage. That's good, Earthquake knocks it out. Okay, Sanqui Aerodactyl, don't flinch us. Goes for Iron Head, does half my remaining health, Thunderbolt, one-shots it. Alright, we got Dragonite as last. I go for Rock Slide, we outsped it too, and we beat Lance. We've made it to the champion for the first time in this run. Unbelievable. But as I've said before, the champion is going to be a problem. Alakazam can be a problem with its crits, and if Psychic lowers our special, we're probably done. Rhydon has a ground move in Bulldoze that is super effective and can lower our speed. Exeggutor, it's tanky and it knows Seed Bomb. And of course, there's Blastoise. Well, let's just get into the final battle. Pidgeot's the lead, it hits me with a weak Wing Attack, and I decide to mimic Wing Attack because I think I'll need it for Exeggutor. And what a mistake I made. As Pidgeot is glowing for Sky Attack, we knock it out with a Thunderbolt, crit didn't matter. Alakazam comes out, it outspeeds, hits me with Psychic, gets a massive critical hit and lowers my special. Thankfully, Earthquake hits and it's able to knock it out, and I'm really regretting not taking Agility now. Rhydon's next, we go for Earthquake, it hangs on with a Sliver as it goes for Bulldoze, and I hang on with 1 HP, but I also get a speed drop. We knock it out, we level up, but Arcanine is faster and it's able to clean me up. And at this point, I was at a loss for words. I knew once Alakazam outsped me, I made a mistake. I should have mimicked Agility. I could have set up on Pidgeot easily, what can it do to me? It can't really do too much damage. Even if it hit Sky Attack, like, how much would it have really done? Well, we can find out because we make it back in the next attempt. Pidgeot opens the battle using Agility, and I mimic Agility. Alright, now we can set up. It sets up and I set up. It goes for Wing Attack, not doing much, and I go for Thunderbolt. We knock it out. Is 1 Agility enough to outspeed Alakazam? Yes, it is. Earthquake hits. This should be a one-shot, and it is. Alright, we're going to outspeed Rhydon. Can we knock it out in one shot with Badge Boost now? The answer, yes. Alright, 3 down. We level up going into Arcanine. I decide to set up the last 2 agilities, as it just goes for Bite both turns. We then go for Earthquake. It's going to one-shot it, and now comes out Exeggutor, who I'm really worried about. I go for Rock Slide, wondering how much it'll do. Does about 2/3. It hits me with Seed Bomb, and that does big damage. Luckily, our next Rock Slide hits. We knock it out. All that's left is Blastoise. I go for Thunderbolt. We outspeed it, and we one-shot it. Finally, this run is over. And as far as setting the bar goes, I don't think Regirock set the bar too high for Registeel and Regice to attempt to beat its time and level. I think not only both will beat it, I think they'll crush it. But as far as Regirock's final time, we finish at level 66 with a final in-game time of 3 hours 46 minutes. I'd say for the 10 Sanqui runs we've done, it earns itself a place at the bottom of the B tier, behind Darkrai and Gardevoir, who that run still has yet to come out, and we actually have to give it a redo because I played by some different rules back then. There's actually some footage to that video that's been corrupted for some odd reason, so might as well just give Gardevoir its own fresh new run. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for the continued support. We've got a lot of new subscribers, so for anyone who, if this is their first video, welcome. And at the time I'm recording this voiceover, we're at 916 subscribers. Maybe we'll get to 1,000 afterwards. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, get started on Registeel. Hopefully that run is just as good. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.